Right up front. Score!
That's a goal. That's a goal. Hey, old guy comes through.
Oh, that's garbage right there.
That was a tough one.
I mean, that's tough integrity
man.
for you to put that in the pipes.
Oh, come on! You gotta be kidding me.
What's going on, everybody? Paul Bissonnette. Yes, you guessed it. It's time for another Sportsnet NHL Bracket Challenge presented by EA Sports. We will be playing some Chell, and before we get to today's matchups, let me introduce my co-host, Shawn McKenzie.
Paul, thank you. I'm happy to be here. It should be a great bit of fun. And as we mentioned before, a great cause as well. There's $50,000 on the line. Each player in this tournament has chosen a charity, and the winner, the person who ultimately goes on to win it all, gets to donate that $50,000 to their charity. It's a lot of money, courtesy of Sportsnet, EA Sports, Sony, Midas, and Skip the Dishes. Great bit of fun for a great cause.
And before we get to today's matchups, let's give you guys an updated bracket going back to the first episode. A couple great matchups, including Steve Dangle taking down Alex DeBrincat, Kitty Cat, as Crew would call him, and a 41 goal scorer going down to an NHL superfan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then speaking of the Maple Leafs, we have Justin Holl, a young up-and-comer spending his first full season with the Leafs, going against one of the most polarizing players in NHL history, Ryan Kesler. Okay, we've probably lost half our audience now, Shawn.
Yeah, we got an agitator versus a young defenseman, a bit of a guy that maybe be a polarizing figure versus Justin Holl, who's breaking into the league, a real nice guy. It's not the only matchup, though. Zach Aston-Reese versus Charlie McAvoy, a couple young bucks going toe-to-toe. And speaking of big names, speaking of stars, Paul, we have a message from one of your friends, or maybe one of your ex-friends.
Hey, Paul. Why you didn't invite me to be part of the tournament? I thought we are friends.
Why didn't you invite Serge?
Well, Serge, first of all, my apologies. I didn't know you were playing NHL 20 video games. I thought you were preparing for the reboot of the NBA season, and that way you can bring home another championship to Toronto. So I'll take this one. My apologies. You'll be first on the list for the next one. But in the meantime, my apologies, my friend.
Sounds like a guy who's trying to get himself out of the doghouse with a good buddy, but I digress. And coming up, it's Kesler versus Holl.
Vancouver's got it along the wall.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Coming up here.
No way. Is that the 3-horse going to the box?
Holl's called for tripping. He's off to the box.
That's garbage. It's a nice, handsome player, though. Who is that?
The Sportsnet Bracket Challenge is played on EA Sports NHL 20. Stay safe and play together. Play like the pros. Check out the PS4 Competition Center for tips, tricks, and insider content. Visit compete.playstation.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Sportsnet NHL 20 Bracket Challenge presented by EA Sports. And Shawn, we have a very, very interesting matchup, the tail of the tape. One guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs who just came on the scene, and he spent his first full season in the NHL this past year. And this next guy, probably the most polarizing figure in NHL history, or at least one of them, made himself known with the Vancouver Canucks in their run to the finals where they fell short to the Boston Bruins. And I cannot wait to let these guys get after it in this video game.
And Paul, we know that as much as this is for entertainment, it's also for charity, right? So we got two guys who have chosen a charity of their choice, $50,000 on the line. Ryan, we'll start with you. What's your charity of choice if you go on and win this thing? Who's going to be the benefactor?
The Hockey Diversity Alliance. Obviously, we all know what's going on in the world right now, and I know every guy on that board. So, and it starts with this video game right now. Maybe, who knows?
And
all right, well, I know who I'm voting for.
Justin, if you win, who are you going to give the money to? And I think it's only fair, Biz, you throw in about $10,000 of your own money to the winner, right?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that afterward. Thanks for putting me on the spot, though, Shawn.
No problem.
So I'm going to do Sick Kids Toronto. It's a hospital in downtown Toronto. It's somewhere that means a lot to me, and I think a lot of Toronto Maple Leafs players, because we do a lot of work there throughout the year. We have different visits and stuff like that, and it's just really it's crazy because no kid should have to go through what these kids are going through, but when you go there and you see their attitude, it's really inspiring, and you know, they're stronger than me. Like, I can't imagine going through that, so I think it's a really good cause and something that means a lot.
All right, folks, it's time for puck drop. Just a friendly reminder, Kesler, there's no fighting, but we all know you just like to start them and not finish them.
Wow. That is true. I've only won a few fights in my day.
We haven't even.
Shawn Shawn texted me to say that he didn't feel comfortable with that joke.
Classic Biz move, throwing everyone under the bus early. Insult someone, then throw someone else under the bus.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that.
No way. Is that the 3-horse going to the box?
Wow.
That's garbage. Just a cheap player.
That's a he definitely dove there.
I don't know.
Nice, handsome player, though. Who is that? All right, guys, come on. Let's get organized.
That's a goal.
There we go.
That's a goal. Hey, old guy comes through.
That's a quick start.
Hey.
There's your boy Finn.
It's all about puck movement. What a dish.
That is a great looking
That's a nice dish. Game realistic, too.
I'll just shut it down. Do the Tortorella 1-3-1.
Go scrap in the hallway.
Classic.
We said no fighting. Actually, that was the arena it was in, right? That was against Calgary.
Yeah. Guys, you know what? We gotta have composure. What are you talking about? You're just fighting in the hallway.
What's the backstory? Didn't somebody? I think Bieksa got pulled into the dentist room right next to that hallway because it just became mayhem.
Yeah, exactly. He was trying to go in, and he comes in. He's like, we all saw it on the TV because someone said there was a fight going in the hallway, so we turned it on. It's on CBC, and Bieksa comes in. He's like, guys, Torch is losing in the hallway. So he comes in right before, guys, we got to have composure.
I figured I'd put a little trivia. So you got 2 goals in your first 2 games. How long do you think it took one Paul Bissonnette to get to the 2-goal mark of his career?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's say 30.
That's pretty close.
Games? Let me guess. I want to guess.
This is an absolute loaded question. I don't know where to go with this.
I would say it took 82 games to get to 2 goals.
Here we go. This is the turning point here.
So I looked up this stat earlier, and I was expecting it to be like at least 80 plus. I was thinking maybe 100, 120.
60?
33 only. You had a hot start to your career.
33.
All right, so you weren't that
pretty
far
good guess.
off.
No, 33 games. And then, you know, I think you
All
only
right,
had
let's go,
5
guys.
goals after that for the rest of your career, but who's counting?
First one went off my skate.
Come on, baby!
Cass, before we start the third here, is that where we're going, the third period? Let's get a little tour of your beautiful garage.
Never took a selfie video before, but here we go. This is in my garage, so fastball hoop, got some lockers over there. So my son and I, and then we got this big jersey wall, which it's pretty cool.
Is that your own logo there on the wall too?
That is.
It's very Roger Federer-esque.
Thank you. I think I had it before Roger, though.
See, Justin.
He might have sold a few more shirts though. Cass, I was surprised to see no Sedin jerseys up there.
Yeah. You know what? I have jerseys in my. Well, I have another garage too, and they have a jersey in there and a stick.
Did you end up getting a chance to go to that final game and/or the jersey retirement?
I went to the jersey retirement. Yeah, it was unbelievable to see how many guys showed up. Usually, like a few guys show up, but he basically had a whole hockey team there. They're special people. You guys know that, and they're so well respected from everybody.
Any
Well, I was going to say I was actually fortunate enough to be there for their last game because they played it at home against the Coyotes, and every time there was a TV timeout standing, the fans would not sit down. And I mean, the coaching staff did a great job of putting them out there every time after the TV timeout, just so they could soak it all in. And then, sure enough, OT winner and
awesome.
assisted.
Wow. Come on, baby.
I don't know if it was Hendrick or Daniel who ended up scoring it, but the other one assisted on it. And
you can't write it better.
No, it was unreal.
Yeah, I saw that. That was unreal.
The Midas Check-In. Because when you're ready, your car should be too.
Fun fact is Ryan
point.
Kesler has 2 distorted pinky fingers that could actually serve as an advantage when gaming, because I think they can wrap around the controller and give him a little bit of leverage to push the buttons harder maybe, or steer the joystick better. So I think you may want to test him before he plays any other opponents.
100%.
Any response to Bieksa?
Oh, it's true. I mean, if you guys could see me, can you guys see me here? Yeah, it scoops around the controller perfectly. Great grip.
Okay, here we go.
I think you got to pull the goalie on the rush.
If I knew how, I would 100% do it. Look at this.
Oh,
my God! Let's go!
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
That was crazy.
That's why you play the game.
Aye.
That's terrific.
That was.
If you would have pulled the goalie when I told you to, this one would be over. So you know a lot more than I do.
Oh, this is trouble, though.
This is it.
Yeah, let's get it out. Be smart here.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone in this game dump the puck.
So, guys, we're going right to a shootout. No overtime.
Riker, look at this.
Here we go. Challenge the angle, Fred. Get out there.
Oh!
There it is.
He's coming in too fast. That was a heck of a move.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Get lucky once in a while. Oh!
Oh, no. This is trouble.
Uh-oh.
Had him.
Do you believe in miracles?
Yes, this is our only All-American on American matchup.
Kess has been having his kid play the whole time.
Oh!
It's
in! Scores!
Oh, no.
It's over!
Oh, it wasn't the prettiest finish, but it's over.
You know what? No
That's
review.
Unfortunate.
Might have been goalie interference, but win's a win, boys.
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about you being late again, Justin, because you've just been pigeon-tossed from this NHL bracket challenge. Any final words for all you Leaf fans out there?
Yeah, totally. I just think Ryan Kesler's a class act, great player, and I'm really happy that he's moving on, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Pinocchio.
Thanks, buddy.
Watch Hey, that's the first time. That's the first time I think I've ever heard class act and Ryan Kesler. Actually, you know what? Now that we're on the subject, what was it like at that period of time being the most hated man in hockey, or one of the?
What year are we talking about?
Your entire career, Ryan.
It's fun. Obviously, you get a lot of everything thrown at you, but I think I dealt with it well, and I kind of liked playing that role. It was a role that I always felt like I played better when people hated me and I hated them, so it was all good.
Was there one guy that you really enjoyed going up against that you always seemed to get under their skin, one guy you could really tweak?
McDavid and Taves I really enjoyed, yeah. They're some of the best, so it was fun going against them.
Speaking of the McDavid one, I was actually at, I think, one of the games in the second round, the year that the Ducks faced them off, and that was his first year ever making playoffs, and I will say you were all over him like a wet blanket.
Yeah, first game I didn't leave his side. The coaches after the game came up to me and said, "Hey, you know you can play offense too." I was like, "Yeah, I just wanted to give him a taste what playoffs was about."
I want to thank you guys both for joining us. Ryan, we're going to see you again, and we'll have to get a better tour of that garage and maybe even that shoe collection. How many times has Gino kicked you back to the back of the line in practice, Zach? Because when I was there, Malkin if I used to be at the front of the line, he used to take my puck away and pigeon toss it right to the back of the line.
He hasn't done that yet. They kind of split the ice.
Maybe that was just a you experience, Biz.
The Sportsnet Bracket Challenge is played on EA Sports NHL 20. Stay safe and play together.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sportsnet NHL 20 Bracket Challenge presented by EA Sports NHL 20. And what a first game we had there. Justin Holl tying things up late with 8 seconds left. And then Ryan Kesler finishing things off in the shootout, so he will advance. And Shawn, we got a couple cup contenders for game 2 here in the second half.
Yeah, Biz, game 1 was good, but Kesler versus Holl just doesn't really have that spice. It's two guys that probably didn't cross paths too much, but these next two guys, it's the Bruins versus the Penguins, and it's two guys in Zach Aston-Reese and Charlie McAvoy who they've played against each other a lot, going back to the Beanpot, going back to their university days in Boston. Biz, I think they're friends, but I think there's a little bit of underlying bad blood. We'll find out here.
Well, let's introduce them, Charlie, and welcome Zach Aston-Reese as well. What's going on, boys?
Not too much. How's it going?
I got to ask you guys before we kick things off here, who's going to have home ice advantage, and who are you guys playing for as far as the charity is concerned?
I won the roulette for home ice. And as far as where my money's going, it's going to be going to the newly formed Hockey Diversity Alliance. I'm going to be playing for the NAACP Boston.
Who's hungry? Brought to you by Skip the Dishes. Get your game day feast delivered to your door. You deserve great delivery.
One of the sponsors that's helping out with that charity money is Skip the Dishes, and I know we've been in quarantine for a while, so maybe we've indulged in Skip the Dishes, some food delivery. So, guys, you're going on Skip the Dishes, you're on the app. What are you ordering? What's your go-to pregame meal?
I think go-to for me, a little bit of chicken and pasta, a little meat sauce, maybe a little Alfredo. Get me ready to go. Give me my skating legs. Depends on the timing. If it's just for a video game, I'm going Chipotle, 100%.
Oh my goodness!
Now, is it true, Charlie, that you had a Chipotle bowl named after you?
I was able to do a little thing there with Chipotle in a partnership with USA Hockey. So I did. I had the Charlie McAvoy bowl for a day.
Hey, Biz, you're the king of swipe-ups and 20% promo codes, but have you ever had a bowl named after you? I don't think so.
Well, I have not, and I'm actually happy we're in separate rooms because he'd be letting them fly with the farts if we weren't. So let's kick this thing off, boys. I think we got to hit the start button, and we got the Penguins versus the Bruins. Zach, as a role player, too, I actually was reading that sometimes when you're not playing, you help with the Penguins program because you took graphic design in college?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear the backstory.
I've had some bad luck, so I've been hurt a lot. So I was just kind of sitting around doing nothing, and they asked me to do I think it was St. Patrick's Day cover for one of the games. I mean, I don't think it came out very good, but thousands of people got it, and that was it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better than when the Coyotes, when they would healthy scratch me, they'd make me dress up as Howler, the mascot, and go in the crowd. So,
that's awesome, man.
That was the only way they let you in the rink.
Anything for a buck, boys.
Of course.
I had to sit on the toilet in the team flights. They didn't even have a seat for me.
Hey, Biz, what's your
most? It wasn't under the plane, Biz.
Yeah. Well, I had to do that a few times too in one of those trunks.
Right in the stick bag.
right in the stick bag.
Hey, Biz, what's the most shameless Instagram plug you've done?
We're not going there, Shawn. You've been carving me.
I just went there.
This guy's the Kirkland brand John Mayer of Canada, and he's been insulting me this whole time. I brought him on board as my sidekick, my Robin, and the chirps have been flying my way the whole time. So I'm putting my foot down now, Shawn.
I'll take Kirkland brand John Mayer. John Mayer's a damn handsome. Even
That's a compliment.
I know, the poor man's John Mayer I'll take.
I actually mentioned it off the top, boys, couple cup contenders, and to transition the conversation to your NHL clubs. You guys must be pretty fired up, both another chance to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of uncertainty there for a while, but getting to hear that you're going to have a chance to come back and play, so we're all excited on this side. Yeah, for sure. I think it's exciting, just the way things turned out, 24-team format. Like, I think it's exciting for everyone to be a part of something new and fresh, and excited to be back on the ice now for sure. It's kind of sucked that 2 or 3 months just sitting at home.
Zach, what do you think Sid's been doing for 3 months? Just squats in his basement with like 500 pounds?
Maybe.
What's it?
No, he doesn't like the weights. He doesn't like to feel sore. He's doing band
workouts.
Yeah. He does the Pilates. He sets it up in his living room. He's got that. What's the one where you used to work the groin? Sean, help me out here.
Why would I know that?
He's got the ankle weights.
Pass to McCann. The Penguins have the puck now. That's 3 consecutive goals.
How many times has Gino kicked you back to the back of the line in practice, Zach? Because when I was there, Malkin if I used to be at the front of the line, he used to take my puck away and pigeon toss it right to the back of the line.
Yeah, he hasn't done that yet. They kind of split the ice, so it's like Sid's line and Gino's line. They have the black jerseys on, and they're at one end, and then the yellow jersey guys are at the other.
Maybe that was just a you experience, Biz.
Well, at least he's getting put down to the other side of the rink. At least I got to be in Malkin's presence in line.
You got to breathe the same air as Gino.
They don't even let Zach skate in practice with those guys.
He did know my name. I've heard a few stories of him not knowing guys' names, but that's not good.
5-on-3, boys. Let's go.
The backstory with that one is they were at rookie party one year, and I believe Brooks Orpik asked him, and he was like, Gino, how many of these guys' names do you know? So they made him get up there in front of the room, and they point to a guy, and he got like 4 guys' names right, but he just kept telling what number they wore.
I'm rolling over top and attacking the net. So if it comes UNC, you guys make a play. Pass is going to the net. I'm coming around the top.
Whether it's playing with a guy like Sid or Charlie, for you, a guy like Z or Bergeron, what do you kind of take from those guys? How cool is it to kind of, as a young guy, come in and see those guys day to day?
Oh, man, it's awesome. Like, those are guys that have been in the league for so long, so you've been looking up to them from the point when you were a kid to now you get to be teammates with them. So it's special. Definitely don't take it for granted.
Yeah. I always get that asked about Sid, and I always just talk about how when he shows up to practice, just like his habits and how good he is in practice. It's fun to see, honestly, and it's good to be a part of that.
Plain talk. You watching any movies or shows on there, Zach?
I play cards.
What do you play?
Schnarps.
Okay, that was a big junior game when I was playing. Who's at the card table with the Penguins?
The one table, it's me, Rusty, Gentz, and I don't know. The fourth seat's always rotating depending on if guys are hurt.
I was hoping you were going to answer yes, you watch shows, because I found that watching movies or television shows that get a little bit emotional, you get even more emotional with the altitude in flights. Am I crazy here, or is that just me?
What?
No, I haven't experienced that yet.
What kind of a question is that?
Because I cried to the Justin Bieber documentary when I was up in the air, and I just found that the altitude really affects your emotions.
That sounds like a really, really bad excuse for crying to the Bieber documentary.
Ooh. Hey, that was a big come up for him, man. He used to be playing outside of the Tim Hortons. Oh, who got that one?
Charlie.
Playing outside of Timmy's? You kidding me? I gotta watch this documentary. Was he standing there with a cup too?
He was he was 9 years old, Biz. You acted like he was homeless on the street. He was just playing for the locals.
Oh, that's garbage right there.
That was a tough one.
I mean, that's tough integrity for you to put that in the pipes. God, whatever, though. I mean, try to keep the pace of play going.
We learned a lot there. We learned what it's like to play with Sidney Crosby. We learned Biz cries at altitude. It was it
was an emotional roller coaster.
It was an exposing game.
I had a different feel than the first one with all that hatred with Kesler. This was kind of nice bonding time.
This is good stuff, man. This is what I signed up for on a Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
Charlie, we will not be seeing you again. Thank you so much for stopping by. Zach, we will see you again. And I think that pretty much wraps things up.
This key moment is brought to you by PlayStation, the best place to play.
Do you believe in miracles? Oh! He scores!
Oh, no.
It's over!
And there you have it, folks. The Sony key moment. Ryan Kesler finishing off Holl in the shootout, and the apple does not fall far from the tree, Shawn. His son in the background taunting Holl with the fist pump.
Yeah, Kessler's son with just a ruthless celebration on Justin Holl. Kesler, nice and stoic, just ice cold. That right there, Biz, I guarantee you, is a guy who does not cry at altitude.
Well, that wraps things up for episode 2, and we're going to tell you next episode's guest, but we're going to leave that a surprise. So thank you again for joining us for the Sportsnet NHL 20 Bracket Challenge presented by EA Sports NHL 20.